Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Tomb King's tournament rosters. That's right, Tomb Kings / Khemri are back. So we've covered every team for starting rosters and most of the teams for tournament lists, all the star players. We've covered all that. Now we're looking at how you put them together to take them to a competitive tournament. So Tomb Kings / Khemri were gone. They've arrived back in the Teams of Legend PDF. I will put a link above so you can go and look at our starting roster for Khemri if you are looking at running them in the league. However, we're going to go through some tournament rosters. They are Sylvanian Spotlight teams, so they do actually get some decent star players that have arrived in Spike 11. So things are looking up for Tomb Kings. We are going to look at some 1100 rosters and some 1200 rosters. The reason for that is we think that tournaments next year are going to be 1100, 1150, 1200, 1250. That's 1.1 million to 1.25 million. Basically, that means that you can watch this video and see the kind of archetypes that you may face, and if you want to run Tomb Kings at tournament, you get some rosters where you can add or subtract 50k to tailor it to your liking. Anyway, let's get started with Tomb King tournament rosters. First up, let's have a look at vanilla. So all in 1100. So 1100, 1.1 million TV tournaments. You can run 4 Tomb Guardians. These are the movement 4, strength 5 big guys with this many nega traits, 0 nega traits. Great stuff. No mighty blow on these guys though, so skills wise, brawler works because they've got strength, doubles, you get block, mighty blow or guard, again also singles. So Tomb Guardians level up quite nicely. 2 blitzers. The blitzers are really important pieces. They are your block pieces. The whole team has got agility 4+. Blitzers come with block. Mighty blow, guard, really good skills on them. They are going to be your pieces if you go guard heavy with your team. They're going to be your frenzy guy. They're going to be your tackle guy. So they're kind of the ones you can tool up. For this roster, you get 2 throwers as well. These guys come with sure hands. That makes them your ball picker-upper because 4+, not great, but it comes with an intrinsic reroll. 4 skeletons round out this roster to 12 players, and 3 rerolls integral. So when it comes to skills and things, the Khemri team doesn't have a lot. Okay, so you've got low agility with 4+, but you do have quite a bit of strength, and you've got a lot of resilience because everybody's got thick skull and regeneration, except the Tomb Guardians who don't have thick skull. You can really use some rerolls. So 3 rerolls here on this roster. You really should consider putting leader on one of your throwers to get you that 4th reroll, especially now rerolls there's not the limit once per turn. So actually having 4 rerolls means on that one turn where you fluff something up at the beginning, you get to still reroll your favorite block later on that turn. So for 1100, actually, you get essentially 4 rerolls, 4 Tomb Guardians, both your blitzers, both your throwers, and 1 reserve skeleton that you can wander around and foul with. That is a very decent lineup, and you are going to be able to live out your Khemri dreams at 1100. And it just gets ever so much better at 1200. It goes to 1200 exactly. You get 4 Tomb Guardians, 2 blitzers, 2 throwers, 5 skeletons, so 1 extra skeleton now, and 4 rerolls. So 5 rerolls total with leader. Again, everything we just said about with the 1100 build goes, but now you've just got more of everything. But this is where it starts getting interesting. So Sylvanian Spotlight. Top pick star players wise, we've got Wilhelm Cheney. So this roster here is Wilhelm 1100. So the reason Wilhelm is so exciting is because it is a werewolf with movement 8 and strength 4. It's also got catch and, frenzy and claws and very much werewolf things. But realistically, what you're looking at is the fact that this guy has agility 3+, which is better than anything on your roster, movement 8, which is better than anything on your roster, and strength 4, which is better than anything on your roster that isn't a Tomb Guardian. Alright, you've got some of those. So 1100 though, we've already looked at the Khemri team. 1100 gets you quite a lot. Wilhelm Cheney is 220k, so you have to give up some stuff to get here. So let's have a look at this roster. It comes in at 1080, so 1,080,000 gold pieces. 2 Tomb Guardians, so you've had to lose 2 of your strength 5 blockers to do that. You got 2 blitzers, that's good. You got 2 throwers, that's good as well. That sure hands is going to come in handy. 5 skeletons, rounding out your roster to 11 players and 2 rerolls. So taking leader on the thrower is going to be incredibly important, and it's going to take you up to 3 rerolls, and I think 3 rerolls is probably as low as you want to go with Khemri. On the plus side, you get an absolute monster of a scoring threat and a really agile safety. So Wilhelm Cheney will be that everything, and you're giving up 2 strong pieces, but those pieces are very slow. So realistically, what this does to your Khemri team is it takes away 2 of your big slow pieces and replaces it with 1 medium-sized fast piece. This can actually take Khemri at 1100, and 1100 is probably as small as these tournaments are going to go. And just allow you to have a really strong breakout. And let's not undersell the fact that Tomb Guardians are only slightly worse than mummies, and they each are movement 4, so your team is slightly faster. This is definitely something to look at. Now, if you want to go full Khemri, you've got the vanilla list that we've just looked at, the all-in 1100. But if you want Khemri with a side of Wolf, this is going to allow you to win some games. And let's rocket it up to 1200. Staying with Wilhelm, this one comes in at 1180. At 1200 TV, you get the same roster as before, sort of. You get 3 Tomb Guardians this time, so 1 extra strength 5 piece, 2 blitzers. You have to drop down to 1 thrower, 5 skeletons, but you go up to 3 rerolls. So the reason the thrower and the rerolls here are asterisked is because what you can do is drop a reroll, take a second thrower additionally. Okay, so that gives you 1 more player. Then you end up being in that situation where leader is just going to give you 3 rerolls instead of 4. Really tricky build here. It depends on where you want to go. You can drop that reroll, go for 3 rerolls, 1 extra player. That's 2 players with sure hands. Probably a good idea. Or you go big with the rerolls here, but then you are kind of putting eggs in one basket when it comes to the thrower, because that thrower is your sure hands piece, and also with leader he has a reroll. So it is down to you which way you want to go. Consistency probably favors the other one. Reroll shenanigans definitely favors this build here. Does everything we said before, you just get an extra reroll basically and an extra Tomb Guardian. That just goes from strong to stronger. And then we have Scroll. So Scroll Half Height is a undead dwarf. He's got some really interesting skills. Definitely recommend you go and watch the Star Player Spotlight for a breakdown of Scroll. Essentially, he is agility 4+, sure hands. So you've got some of those on this roster already, but he comes with accurate, pass, and once per game you get to add +3 to any of your pass rolls that he makes. So once per game you are basically just automatically making a pass, which can be massive. Now, not great for this roster because everybody here has agility 4+, so the best you're doing is 4+, but now rerolls are, you can take multiple rerolls in a turn. Actually, it means that you can make that 4+ catch if you want to go for that. However, Khemri realistically should be a decent running team. And the great thing about the Scroll build, and it comes in at exactly 1200, is you get all 4 of your Tomb Guardians. You get all 2 of your blitzers, all 2 of your throwers, and you're backed up with 3 skeletons as well. So you've got 11 players plus Scroll Half Height. 3 rerolls, take leader on this guy, you've got 4 rerolls. So basically what you get is the all-in 1200 build that we saw with 1 less player, 1 less reroll. 4 rerolls is going to be pretty decent, and you get an extra player that comes with sure hands, and you do get a once per game almost automatic pass option. So what you don't normally get with Khemri is much of a stretch play. Being able to just put a couple of skeletons, or 1 skeleton, just wander down the pitch, or just move your guys up, that's going to have an opportunity to hoon the ball down there and go for the win. Alternatively, actually what it does is it gives you an opportunity to punt the ball away if you get into a bad situation. It's not a great build, but actually if you're going to go for an all skeleton theme, just making the most of Scroll is just awesome. So you get a Scroll build here, 1200, with an entire Khemri team and just a bit of excitement with a random undead dwarf. Okay, so we're staying in the 1200 bracket here, and it's got to be done. So Grak and Crumbleberry play for any team ever. So in this roster, you get Grak and Khemri, 3 Tomb Guardians, okay, so 3 of your Strength 5 bruisers, both of your blitzers, both of your throwers, and 4 skeletons, taking you up to 11 core players. Downside of this roster, only 2 rerolls, but as we've talked to death here now, leader for that third one is going to put you about okay. What it does come with is another Strength 5 player, but this Strength 5 player is 1 movement faster than your other Strength 5 players. It's also got better agility than your other Strength 5 players, and it comes with Mighty Blow. And it also comes with a tiny little person, Khemri. Now, Crumbleberry ends up with a 3+ agility and has sure hands. So not only do you increase by 50% your ability to have sure hands on the roster, that 3+ agility is going to be awesome. So the really interesting thing about this roster is that it massively improves your strength, okay, because an ogre is better than a tomb guardian most of the time. Okay, you've got the opportunity of Bonehead, but still, actually, Strength 5, Movement 5, Mighty Blow is really good. And you get this halfling who is moving Movement 5, so about as fast as the rest of your team, but Agility 3+ gives it a really good opportunity to swoop in and pick up the ball. You end up with 3 ball carriers on this team, 3 big guys, plus an ogre and 2 blitzers. 1170, this actually forms a pretty balanced team. You've got a ton of muscle, you've got some skills, and you've got 3 good opportunities to pick up the ball with a percentage chance of 75 or more. Integral, there we go. So that's the 2 throwers, 4+ with a reroll, and that is Crackleberry with a 3+ with a reroll. You look at the Khemri roster and you think, what is it missing? It's missing speed, which we've seen with Wilhelm, and it's missing agility, as in picking up the ball, which you actually get from Crumbleberry. So the Grack 1200 is more than just a meme list. It's actually a way for you to get a 3+ sure hands player onto your roster, and you get free rolled an ogre. But if that ogre isn't dead enough for you, you can always take Frankenstein. Now this roster is pure undead muscle. So the Frank 1200 build comes in literally at 1200. You get 4 Tomb Guardians, 2 Blitzers, 1 Thrower, 4 Skeletons, 2 rerolls, Bleeder, etc. and Frankenstein. So you get 5 Strength 5 players, backed up with 2 of your blockers and 5 other guys. So that is great. The downside of this is you've got 1 Thrower with sure hands, 4+, and you've got 2 rerolls. And to make it worse, that 1 Thrower is going to take leader, so that thrower is going to be sure hands and your 3rd reroll. That is risky as you like. If you wanted to balance it out, you could drop a Tomb Guardian and, you know, use the extra cash to bump up and get another thrower. You know, you can do that, you can play with it. But what this roster is giving you is 5 big guys. None of them have Bonehead. This will be the strongest roster in Blood Bowl without negatraits. I'm not sure. Can you do it any other way? No, I don't think so. I think this is the only way to get 5 Strength 5 players, none of them with negatraits. The worst you've got here is the fact that Frankenstein has Loner 4+. 5 Strength 5 guys who will all block for you. Yes, you've not got a lot of rerolls, so it's going to be a bit risky. And yeah, you need to get Mighty Blow on those Tomb Guardians, but that is a lot of dice, guys. 5 big guys on the line is going to dominate against almost every single team. No, it is going to dominate against every single team, because even if they've got 6 ogres on the opposite side, one of them is going to bonehead statistically, and then you are even Stevens and backed up with some semblance of a tactical strategy plan here. Tactical strategy plan TM. So guys, that will do it for the Khemri rosters. There's just so much you can do with this roster. I'm really glad to see it's back, and actually with Wilhelm in there, with Grack, with Frank, you get a lot of options to kind of add something that Khemri is missing. Probably not as good as adding Hackflem to Chaos Dwarves, but honestly I think Wilhelm is just going to spice up the Khemri team, and it kind of needs it. So you can go Big Bash, you can go Dash, and it gives you a bit of everything. So Khemri coaches out there, your world just got more interesting, because quite frankly with these rosters it got more competitive. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think of these rosters, and if I've missed any. You guys are brilliant at quickly flagging up other rosters, normally dual star players, which I think is great. Yes, you can probably get Skrull and Wilhelm Cheney in a Khemri team, but then you kind of lose most of the Khemri team to go along with it, so that's why I haven't included that there. And yeah, there's a ton of Chainsaw star players you can take, but you take Khemri for the Tomb Guardians, and giving up the Tomb Guardians, you just might as well run Undead. You know, you want the Tomb Guardians, you want the big Egyptian themes. Vortis, Punga, there's some incredible teams landing soon, and I'm really excited to see Khemri. Anyway, I'm going to disappear now, and I'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. See you later.